In the vast expanse of the Andromeda Galaxy, where civilizations rose and fell like waves on an endless cosmic ocean, humanity was considered an anomaly, not because they were weak, far from it, but because their unpredictability made them both revered and feared by the Galactic Council. The Council, a governing body composed of representatives from thousands of sentient species across the stars, had always struggled to understand humans. They were too emotional, too chaotic, too alive. It all started with Operation Silent Storm, a classified mission deep within the Veil Nebula, a region notorious for its swirling clouds of ionized gas that disrupted communication systems and rendered most advanced technology useless. Humanity's elite strike team, known as the Crimson Blades, had been deployed there after reports surfaced of an ancient alien artifact capable of destabilizing entire star systems. Naturally, when something posed a threat to galactic stability, the Council called upon Earth's finest. The mission began like any other, loud, brash, and filled with the kind of bravado that only humans could muster. Captain Elias Voss led the charge, his voice crackling over comms as he rallied his squad. "All right, Blades, let's show these ruins who's boss." His words carried a mix of arrogance and determination that left even hardened veterans smirking under their helmets. The Blades moved through the nebula's treacherous terrain, their powered armor glowing faintly against the eerie backdrop of shimmering gases. But then, something strange happened. Midway through the operation, communications went silent. Not just glitchy or distorted, completely silent. No banter, no updates, no witty remarks about how much ammo someone had left. Just nothing. At first, the Council assumed it was another technical malfunction caused by the nebula's interference. But when the silence persisted for hours, unease spread among the monitors back at command. This wasn't the first time humans had gone quiet during combat. In fact, it had become something of a recurring phenomenon, one so peculiar that the Council had recently implemented a new protocol specifically for such situations, Code Crimson Silence. It was designed to alert every faction in the galaxy whenever human forces abruptly ceased communication mid-mission. Why? Because history had taught them one undeniable truth. When humans went quiet, something catastrophic was about to happen. Back. In the nebula, the Crimson Blades weren't dead. They were planning. Elias crouched behind a jagged rock formation, his helmet HUD flickering erratically as he scanned the area. Around him, his squad mates communicated silently using hand signals and subtle nods. Lieutenant Mara Chen pointed toward a cluster of alien constructs ahead, tall, spire-like structures pulsating with an ominous blue light. That was their target. "Take out those spires," Elias whispered, his voice barely audible even to himself. "They're jamming our comms. Once we've got a clear line, we call it in." Mara nodded, her expression grim but focused. She trusted Elias implicitly, as did the rest of the team. Humans might have been unpredictable, but they were also fiercely loyal to one another. This bond, their ability to work together without needing constant chatter, was what set them apart from nearly every other species in the galaxy. As the Blades advanced, they encountered resistance. Shadowy figures emerged from the mist, their forms shifting unnaturally, as if they were part machine, part energy. These were the Void Sentinels, guardians of the artifact. Their weapons hummed with lethal precision, firing beams of concentrated plasma that melted through metal and flesh alike. The fight was brutal. Human ingenuity clashed with alien savagery in a dazzling display of chaos. Grenades exploded in bursts of fiery orange, illuminating the battlefield momentarily before being swallowed by the nebula's haze. Rifle shots echoed like thunder, each one punctuated by the sharp intake of breath from a soldier narrowly avoiding death. Yet despite the carnage, the Blades remained eerily silent. There were no cries of pain, no shouts of triumph. Every movement was deliberate, every action calculated. To an outsider, it might have seemed mechanical, even robotic. But those who truly understood humanity knew better. This silence was not born of fear or defeat. It was a prelude to devastation. Meanwhile, aboard the Galactic Council's flagship Ecliptica, alarms blared as Code Crimson's silence was activated. Representatives from dozens of species gathered around holographic displays, watching live feeds. From drones monitoring the nebula, tensions ran high. "They've stopped transmitting again," muttered Counselor Zixalarn, a towering insectoid diplomat from the Krillic hive. "What are they doing now?" "They're thinking," replied Ambassador Leora Solon, a humanoid ambassador from the Aquatic Meridian Collective. Her tone was calm, but tinged with admiration. "Humans don't need constant communication to function. When they go quiet, it means they're strategizing or preparing for something big." Zixalarn clicked his mandibles impatiently. "Big? Big is exactly what we don't need right now. If that artifact falls into the wrong hands—" He didn't finish his sentence. Everyone in the room knew the stakes. The artifact wasn't just dangerous, it was apocalyptic. Capable of unraveling the fabric of space-time itself, it represented both unimaginable power and unspeakable destruction. And currently, it was guarded by beings whose motives were as enigmatic as the artifact itself. Back on the ground, Elias gave the signal. The blades sprang into action, moving with a speed and ferocity that caught the Void Sentinels off guard. Explosives detonated simultaneously, obliterating the spires and restoring comms. For a brief moment, static crackled in Elias's earpiece, before a familiar voice broke through. "Command! This is Crimson Blade Actual. We're green and ready to extract." Relief washed over the council members as they heard the transmission. But before anyone could respond, Elias added, "And tell the nerds back home to start working on better jamming countermeasures. This whole silent treatment thing is getting old." Laughter erupted across multiple channels, a sound that was uniquely human. Even amidst the gravest dangers, they found ways to lighten the mood. It was infuriating, endearing, and utterly baffling to the council. By the time the blades returned to base, the artifact had been secured and neutralized. The mission was deemed a success, though not without cost. Several soldiers had been injured, and 2 had fallen in battle. Yet their sacrifice had ensured the safety of countless lives, not just human, but alien as well. As the council reviewed the after-action report, one question lingered in everyone's minds. Why did humans behave this way? What drove them to push beyond their limits, to endure unimaginable hardships, and to emerge victorious time and time again? Perhaps it was their resilience. Perhaps it was their capacity for hope. Or perhaps it was simply their refusal to give up, no matter how dire the odds. Whatever the reason, one thing was certain: humanity's silence was never passive. It was a storm waiting to break, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the universe, humans would always find a way to shine. And so, Code Crimson's silence remained active, a testament to the respect and caution that humanity commanded among the stars. After all, when humans went quiet, the galaxy held its breath.